And joining us today, Hall of Famer Cal Ripken, the Cal Ripken World Series, now in its 11th year back in Aberdeen, and the Cal Ripken World Series and Championship game can be seen right here on WBAL Plus on August 21st and 22nd. Mr. Ripken, sir, always a pleasure. Welcome. 11 years with the Cal Ripken World Series. When you guys first put this on, did you have any idea it would have, one, the economic impact that it would, and two, that it would provide the experience for these young kids all over the world to live the big league dream, so to speak?
Well, I'd like to say, yeah, I had it all figured out before we started, but no. I mean, the intention was to bring, joy to kids and kind of give them a wonderful worldly experience in the World Series. When Babe Ruth came to me and wanted to rename their lower division after me, it's usually an honor that's bestowed upon somebody that's no longer living, and so it made me feel a little uncomfortable. But it was a wonderful opportunity to impact the grassroots of baseball. The World Series was moving around in other cities. We brought TV to the package. We made it, gave it a more permanent home. So Williamsport to Little League is really what Aberdeen is to Cal Ripken baseball. The caliber of play is off the charts. We play 70-foot diamond. We play big league rules. They hold runners. They block balls. They do all the things that you want to see a big league team do, and they do it really, really well. These are the elite 12s, and we try to make sure that the coaches and the parents don't put too much pressure on them. We want them to enjoy the experience and compete hard, but this is a life experience. It's not just a baseball game.
You and Billy are very visible during this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
When you walk around, what do you see from the kids? What do you see from the parents, the interaction and their love of the game? What do you see?
Well, I mean, they all have been following their kids around, and as we're in an era now where travel teams kind of own the baseball climate. It used to be the rec ball, and then you got on an all-star team, and then you play for the. Now the teams are forming much earlier. They're practicing year-round. They're doing a whole lot more things. So the parents are into it as much as the kids are. But what we try to do is we try to get to them early and say, okay, look, let's curb some of the pressure and some of the stuff that comes out of the stands. Let's make sure that we allow them to be kids. We allow them to play and enjoy. That doesn't mean we don't want you to compete. We just want to make sure that the kids are doing it, not necessarily the parents and the coaches.
Okay, I asked your brother this the other day. Okay, Ripken baseball, it has exploded around the globe. The Cal Senior Foundation, the World Series, the tournaments, the camps. Do you sometimes take a step back, Cal, and say, man, we're doing some good things, and Cal Senior would be proud?
Well, Cal Senior would probably tell both of us that we're getting too big for our britches. He said, you can only handle what you can handle. But the concept is, and yes, we've thrown a lot of things on the wall. I mean, we've gone to China, and taught baseball in China, which Dad would have jumped forward to with an opportunity to do that. And it feels like in some ways we're doing all these things all over the place, but there's a rhyme or reason for it. There's a plan, and we're spreading, the good teaching of Cal Senior. We're spreading the good experiences of tournaments and those sorts of things. So yeah, we're global in some aspects, but I still think we get a little more credit. They kind of overblow what we do. All we're doing is trying to appeal to kids and trying to spread that out. Although we were in Chicago yesterday, working with the Under Armour All-Americans, which we have our hand in baseball at the highest level of high school. And at the lowest point, and it seems like anywhere in between, and we enjoy, bringing passion to the game of baseball.
Speaking of the little kids now, what is better, turning a double play with your brother that wins the game, or getting a thank you from a 7-8-year-old little boy or girl for helping them become a better player?
Well, I'd have to say that turning the light bulb on a kid is probably way more gratifying. And I would even go back to my high school experience this year, being an assistant for Larry Sheets. I did it at first to kind of help the program and say, okay, I wanted a better experience for my son. Gilman was a little more known for their football and their lacrosse, but you want to put their baseball on the map a little bit as well. And but I started to look forward to the 2 o'clock in the afternoons and started to think about what we're going to do in practice, and even going up there, getting the field ready and raking and watering the field and doing those sorts of things. So I started to get a whole lot more gratification of giving other kids the tools where they can be better. And I was really proud of all the kids they developed. As the year went on, they were much better. At the end of the year, they were better players, they were better teammates. I like the personal development side of what I saw at Gilman, and we're gonna try to continue that.
And you won the championship too.
Well, I mean,
and your kids really responded to you guys.
Things went well. I don't know if you can count on winning the championship all the time,
but certainly but you know what
things went well. They played well. They weren't uptight. They had the tools in which to compete, and things worked out this year.
Have to ask you an Orioles question. Buck Showalter, new manager. You know Buck real well. Good move there on the Orioles' part?
Yeah, I mean, Buck Showalter, I've known him since Double-A. I think he won the batting title when we were in the Southern League. He didn't end up going to the big leagues as a player, but certainly, his knowledge of baseball was very apparent at that point. And he went into management, and he's everywhere he's gone, he's been able to shape a winner. The only question is, you got to ask Buck, if I had a chance to, how come you're not hanging around all enough? But certainly, I'm sure Andy and everybody else had asked those questions. But when he walks into a room, or you watch him on ESPN, or you watch him, you end up shaking your head and agreeing with all those things that he sees and the way he talks about it. So not only is he a good strategist in the games, but he also is really, really good at developing, and talent, which is really what the Orioles need. They're playing the game the right way right now, and that's a tribute to Buck's competency, his knowledge, the confidence that the team has into him. But I imagine he made a couple tweaks in the system.
Oh, I'm sure.
That allowed them to actually play better, and they're pitching well and they're playing well.
Real quick, championship game on MLB Network and WBAL Plus championship weekend, right?
Yep. We brought MLB Network into the mix, and so we raised our profile a little bit. They're covering the game, the semifinal game and the championship game. Billy and I will be in the booth. That'll be over the weekend, but festivities start tonight. Friday, we're doing the home run derby, the skills competition.
Opening ceremony.
You, of course, are going to be mastering
and I have to say one more thing as we say goodbye. Another week, you join the club. Happy pre-birthday. I'm not going to say how old, but you and I both know. Welcome to the club, Mr. Ripken.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Enjoy.